Hello everyone. I hope you all are good and safe. So in this session, what we are going to do is we will be discussing questions of your NEET paper of AIET 1. Okay, so this is going to be for class 12. Yes. So let's start with the questions. What I have done is I have selected some important question where I feel like you may be having doubts. So let's start with the questions. Yeah. So this is the very first question that I have selected. There are actually from this questions, like this type of questions often come, and it comes in JE also and also in NEET. So let's see it carefully. Two charged spherical conductors of radius R1 and R2 are connected by a wire. So we have two charged conductors. Let's say this is first one and this is second one. Both have charge, right? So suppose Carlo, it has this much positive charge. It has also this positive charge. Both has positive charge. Let's say it has Q1 positive charge, it has Q2. Now what is happening? They are getting connected by a wire. So we are connecting them through wire like this. Then the ratio of surface charge density of the spheres will be what? So before the connection is made, suppose there is no connection. In that case, what will happen? This first sphere has certain potential. You already have studied potential of sphere calculation. So potential of first sphere can be written as KQ1 by R2. And potential of second sphere can be written as KQ2 by R2. And then now let's say if V1 here is greater than V2. Let's assume it. So the moment you are establishing connection between these two spheres through a conducting wire, what will happen? Charge will flow because both the sphere has not same potential. Charge will flow from higher to lower potential and it will flow until their potential will not become equal. Finally, after connection is built, let's assume that first sphere is having charge Q1 dash and second sphere is having charge Q2 dash in equilibrium. When their potential is becoming same, because ultimately it will become same. Now let's do the calculation. So if potential is same, it means KQ1 dash by R1 will be equal to KQ2 dash by R2. So if you're going to look at it, Q1 dash by Q2 dash is equal to R1 by R2. So you can clearly see here, charge is directly proportional to the radius. You can see Q1 dash is directly proportional to R1. Here in the question, we have to say what will be the charge density. So if you calculate density, charge density अगर हम लोग निकाले, then you can write it like what? So sigma 1 can be written as Q1 dash by 4 pi R1 square and sigma 2 can be written as Q2 dash divided by 4 pi R2 ka square. So if you're going to take their ratio, let's do it in the second page. So if you are going to take their ratio sigma 1 by sigma 2, it will be Q1 by Q2 into, it will be what? R2 ka square divided by R1 ka square. Okay, and we already know Q1 dash, no? Q1 dash by Q2 dash is equal to R1 by R2. है ना? So this is this. And if you're going to solve it, how much value you will be getting? You will get R2 by R2. So the important relation we are getting is ultimately charge densities sigma will be inversely proportional to radius and charge accumulated finally, after connection is built up, will be directly proportional to radius. So this is a very important relation. You should remember. Now let's do another question. A charge Q is placed at the center of line joining two equal charges. Okay. So there are two equal charges, small q, and then there is this capital Q. The system of three charges, a charge Q is placed. Okay, I have done one mistake here. System of two capital Q charges hai yahan pe, and at the center there is another charge kept, that is small q. The system of three charges will be in equilibrium. This system of three charges is in equilibrium. इसका मतलब net force on the system is 0. Then it is in rest. So it means what? It means all three charges are in rest. So if we calculate, suppose kar lo, we are going to see or we are going to check the equilibrium of this charge Q. So on this charge Q, what forces will act because of this positive charge? Because nature of charge of small q is not given, but it is said that two equal charges capital Q is placed. So I'm just assuming these two equal charges are positive in nature. So if that is the case, then force acting on this capital Q charge because of this one will be in which direction? It will be in this direction because repulsion will happen. So this charge will repel this capital Q charge, yani कि it will throw it away from itself. So this is this, and force value will be kq square by total distance दोनों के बीच का a ले लो, so a का square if this distance is a. Now on this charge, this small q will also apply force. How much value of force will it apply? So value of force will be equal to kqq by a by 2 ka whole square because it is kept at the center. Now, for equilibrium of this encircled charge, net force should be equal to 0. It means these two forces should be equal and opposite. So one force is towards the left. So another force should be towards right. Yani ki force because of a small q should be in this direction. Then, and this is only possible if q is negative. So here q is what? Negative. Now let's calculate the value of small q. Let's equate it. And if you do this, what you will get? Q is equal to 4q. So small q is q by 4. So with proper sign, if you write, it is minus q by 4. So correct answer will be A. Now let's do another question. A charge 10 microcoulomb is placed at the center of hemisphere of radius this. Electric flux through the hemisphere will be what? So there is a hemisphere and there is a charge kept at the center. So symmetrically it is kept. 10 microcoulomb charge is kept. Okay. Suppose karo, if I am keeping or if I am just covering this hemisphere, फिर another up hemisphere, then this will become a sphere. है ना? And according to Gauss's law, total flux through this sphere will be equal to how much? Total flux, if I talk about, yani ki flux through this surface, the one we have to calculate, and then flux through this imaginary surface. Sum of these two flux should be equal to what? Q enclosed by epsilon naught. So 10 into 10 to the power minus 6 by epsilon naught. Okay? So this is going to be the total flux. What we have to calculate here? We have to calculate electric flux through the hemisphere. So you can see here charge is kept at the center. So it is symmetrically kept. It means what? It means whatever flux is through the upper portion, same amount of flux will be through the lower portion. It means flux through the lower portion is how much? Yani ki flux needed to calculate, जो हमें calculate करना है, वो कितना होगा? Phi total divided by 2 epsilon. ठीक है? Now do the calculation. So this is 10 to the power minus 5 by 2 epsilon naught. And let's do something. Let's write here 2 pi. So here I am writing 2 pi. Now 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to how much? That is equal to 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 10 to the power minus 5 into 2 pi. Again, if you are going to calculate this, 18 into 3.14. So 18 into 3.14. So 54 ke around into 10 to the power 4. Done. So if we have to write it in the power of 10 to the power 5, then let's multiply it with 10 and divide it with 10. So it will become 5.4 something into 10 to the power 5. So this is approximately equal to the option C. So correct option is C. Okay. Chalo. Now what is this question? Distance between 2 point charges is increased by 20%. Force of interaction between charges. Okay. So Coulomb's force, according to Coulomb's law, force you write as K Q1 Q2 by R ka square. So distance between 2 point charges is increased by 20%. So let's say initial distance. Okay. Initial distance is equal to R. So what will become your final distance? So if you're going to calculate the final distance, it is getting increased by 20%. So 20% of R means, if you calculate here, 20% of R. So this is 20 by 100 into R. Okay. So this is how much? 0.2 R. So by 0.2 R, it is getting increased. यानी कि final R is equal to how much? R plus 0.2 R. So this is nothing but 1.2. Done. So final force, if we write, final force को हम कैसे लिखेंगे? K Q1 Q2 by R dash का square. That is 1.2 R का square. What we have to calculate? Force increases or decreases by what percentage? First, you see here, distance is getting increased, so force will decrease definitely. Now let's calculate change in force. So if you do here, like percentage we have to calculate. So we have to calculate change in force by force into 100. So this is what we have to calculate. Done it? So let's do this. What we can do here? So easy thing to do is, let's write here F dash by F. Okay? And this will be equal to how much? This will be equal to R dash का square by R का square. ठीक है. Now do one thing, इसको हम लिख लेते हैं पहले 1.44 R square by R square है तो 1.44 बचेगा. ठीक है. Now if you do one thing, -1 आप कर दो, इधर भी -1 कर दो. So what you are going to get here, this will become your delta F by F is equal to 0.44. ठीक है. And then what we have to do? Then we need to do percentage, we need to calculate. So let's write the percentage. Okay, we did one mistake here. Just see F dash by F, this division we have done wrong. And that is why we were getting 44% as answer. I can see there is no option as such. So this thing we did mistake here. F dash by F will be equal to how much? It will be equal to R का square by R dash का square. I did the opposite. ठीक है. So R का square by 1.44 का R का square. So this is 1 by 1.4. Okay, that was the mistake. Now just subtract -1 on the both side. So then you are going to get delta F by F. This is equal to how much? 1 minus 1.44. Again, negative we are getting. So that explains this force is getting decreased. I will just write here the modulus. So this is 0.44 divided by 1.4. So if we have to calculate percentage, we need to multiply it with 100. And if you're going to solve it, you get 31%. Okay. So we need to proceed carefully with the calculation. The mistake I did here should not happen. So this is okay. So this is another question. A uniform electric field in the plane of paper as shown. Here A, B, C, D are the points on the circle. V1, V2, V3, V4 are the potential at those points respectively. So these points are the potentials point. ठीक है. So potential को compare करना है basically. How we can do that? There is one thing that you know. There is one formula, dV equal to minus E dot dl. And if you see, just look at this thing carefully. From this portion also so much questions come. So we need to have clarity. So if you see, when dV will be maximum, यानी कि change in potential is maximum with negative sign. यानी कि change in potential is minimum. यानी कि the direction in which potential is decreasing the maximum. Or if you're not able to understand it, first let me tell you, when this dV value in magnitude will be maximum. So minus E dl cos theta. So when theta is 0 degree, in that case, minus E dl, or when theta is 180 degree, in that case, it will become plus. Done. But with negative sign, this value is minimum, or you can say in magnitude maximum, if theta is equal to what? 0 degree. So let me now summarize it. If theta is 0 degree, then change in potential is minimum overall because there is a negative sign. Let's avoid the confusion. So theta is 0 degree means what? Means angle between electric field and displacement. So displacement is happening in the direction of electric field. It means It means if we are moving along the direction of electric field, potential decreases the maximum. Have this in your head. If we are moving along the direction of electric field, potential decrease is the maximum. So see here in this question, electric field direction is given. This is the direction. So as we will move along the direction of electric field, potential will decrease the maximum. So D point will have the minimum potential. D point will have minimum potential, and C point will have maximum potential, and VA will be equal to VB, such that this is what? This is your less than what? VC, because it is more towards the direction of electric field. Then, so as we move towards the direction of electric field, potential decreases. So which will be the correct answer? VC is going to be greater than VT. Yes. VA equal to VB. Yes. So B is the correct answer. Done it? So from where this calculation or this concept is coming from this equation. For theta equal to 0, dV, decrease in potential is minimum. It means in the direction of electric field, potential decreases the maximum. Now, consider a neutral conducting a sphere. Neutral conducting a sphere, hai, a positive point charge is placed outside the sphere. So there is a positive charge placed outside. The net charge on the sphere is then. So what will happen? Same kind of question came in JEE Mains also in the AIET test. So because of this positive charge, since this is a neutral conductor, it will have some free charges within it. And this positive charge will attract the negative of free of its negative charge, and positive charge this surface will gain. So electric field direction, if you have to make, so this will look something like this. Something like this. Done it? So such that they won't meet. If it seems like they will meet, they will never meet. Okay. Done it? So what is the question? A negative, the net charge on the sphere. So net charge on the sphere is how much? It's 0, right? Whatever negative charge is getting accumulated towards the positive charge face, same positive charge is on the opposite face. So overall, there is how much charge getting induced overall? 0. So option correct is D. Now this is another question. Let's do it. The following figure shows lines of constant potential in an electric field. Out of the 3 given points, P, Q, and R, where is the electric field intensity maximum and minimum? Okay. So we have to say where is the electric field intensity maximum and minimum. Again, we know that dV equal to minus E dot dl. Okay. So potential is decreasing in this direction. In this direction, potential is what? Decreasing. So electric field must be in this direction, because electric field direction is where? In the direction where potential is decreasing the maximum. So we can say it's like this. So if we talk about magnitude of change in potential, it is E dl, because here theta is going to be 0. If I am taking this as a distance, this as a dl, then along the direction of dl, there is E, there is electric field. So we can say something like this. Even if you're not able to see this, or even if you think like let angle be anything other than theta equal to 0, because you may argue that it's not given that potential decrease in this sense is minimum. Maybe there is some other direction which potential is decreasing the maximum, sorry. So if you're confused about that, you can still write here cos theta. There is no issue in that. Okay. Now we have to see E का value कहाँ पे क्या होगा? Maximum होगा, कहाँ minimum होगा? So E is written as mod dV divided by dl cos theta. Theta will be same for all the dl. Like if I'm taking one dl here, another dl here, and another dl here. So in all cases, theta will be same, because there is only one direction of electric field, and this dl is in which direction? In this radial direction. This dl is in this radial direction. So theta is going to be constant for all the dl we are taking, right? So just see here, potential difference across these two equipotential surfaces, everywhere it's 10 volt. It's 10 volt. So dV is also constant. This is 10 volt. Now cos theta is also constant. So everything will depend on dl. So where the dl is maximum. DL is maximum in this case, done, and R is lying in between these two equipotential surfaces. It means for point R, electric field will be what? Minimum. Electric field kya hoga? This is this DL is what? Here it is maximum, right? So if this is maximum, electric field is going to be what? It is going to be minimum. Now, if you talk about where it is maximum, then you can see here at point P, this separation is the minimum. So if this separation is minimum, then electric field will be maximum. So what is going to be the correct answer? Correct answer is going to be B. At point P, electric field is max, and at point R, electric field is minimum. Again, which formula we use? dV equal to minus C dot. So in previous two questions, this was the formula we needed to apply. Okay. Now let's do this question. The velocity V acquired by an electron starting from rest and moving through potential difference V. So you all must have studied in electrostat only, work done per unit charge is given as what? Potential difference. Okay. So if potential difference is V, that is if you're accelerating a charge through V, then work done on it is how much? QV. And whatever work we do on a charge, that here will appear in the form of kinetic energy. Okay. So kinetic energy, that is half mu square, will be equal to Q into potential difference, right? So velocity ka square is equal to 2Q by M potential. So what will be the graph between velocity and potential? So definitely this is going to be a parabolic graph. Upward parabolic it will be. Because it is, if you take this as a y-axis, and so this will become y square and this is x. So y square equal to some constant k into x. Iska graph kaisa hota hai? This graph is this. If you're not clear of the graphs, upward kab hoga, downward kab hoga, then please do a bit of revision for how we draw parabolic curves. Okay? So all these are parabolas, something like this, something like this, something like this, and something like this. So you should know when you draw which one. Done? So please do that with this. Now let's do this question. Two conducting a sphere as shown in the figure. If key between them is closed, then charge on each sphere will be. So this question already we discussed in the very first question. So the moment we are closing this key, what will happen? Because of potential difference, charge will flow from high to low potential such that finally their potential will be same. So finally, let's say it has a charge Q1 and it has a charge Q2. So finally, KQ1 by R1 will be equal to KQ2 by R2. You know, we did this thing, Q1 by Q2 will be equal to R1 by R2. Again, if finally this has Q1, this has finally Q2, then Q1 plus Q2 will be equal to 5 plus 11 microcoulomb. Why? Because initially first has 5 microcoulomb charge, second has 11 microcoulomb charge. So this charge is not going to leave these two spheres. It will keep moving in between, right? It is not going to leave the system of these two spheres. So finally also sum is going to be equal to 11 microcoulomb. So Q1 plus Q2 is, 16 microcoulomb. Now you can calculate the values. Okay? So आप calculate कर लो. This Q1 by Q2 can be written as R1 मैंने इसको लिया है 1 by 3. So Q1 is equal to how much? Or you can say Q2 is equal to 3Q1. So let's put the value and get the answer. So यहाँ पे Q1 plus 3Q1 is equal to 16 microcoulomb. So 4Q1 is 16 microcoulomb. Q1 is how much? 4 microcoulomb. So Q2 is how much? It is 12 micro. So 4 and 12, right? So correct answer is your B. Now let's do this question. Potential difference between 2 points A and B is. Okay. So what is going to be the potential difference at point A and at point? So क्या होगा? You just see at point A, potential will be because of what? This positive and this negative charge. So potential at point A में लिखती हूँ. Because of this plus q charge, it is at a distance of a, kq by a. And because of this negative charge, distance from this negative charge is how much? It is this distance, right? So this distance is how much? This is a, and this is your 2a. So this is your root 5a. And for negative charge, we write negative potential. Okay? So this is minus kq by root under 5a. Now let's write potential at B. Simple question. So potential at B, if you write, at B because of negative charge, it is minus kq by a. And because of positive charge, it will be kq by root under 5a. Now we have to calculate potential difference. So you just calculate BA minus, and this is equal to 2 kq by a minus how much? 2 kq by root under 5a. If you're going to break k can be written as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. So this can be 2 by 4 pi epsilon naught, and q by a also you take as constant. Then it can be written as 1 minus 1 by root under 5. So 1 upon 2 pi epsilon naught q by a into 1 minus 1 by root 5. So this is C. Okay? Chalo. Now this is another question. A spring balance is attached to the ceiling of a lift. So there is a lift and this is the ceiling. And from ceiling, what is happening? A lift is attached. Sorry, a spring balance is attached. So this is kind of a spring balance. A man hangs his bag on the spring. So a bag is getting hanged from the spring and a spring reads 49 Newton. So if you don't remember your 11th class thing, then a spring balance is used to measure the weight and hence the mass also. So how it measures mass or weight, you say? So whatever tension is there in the spring, that is same as the weight. Okay? So a spring reading is 49 Newton. It means tension in the spring is what? 49 Newton. And at the same time, we can say weight of this body is how much? 49 Newton. So let's write in the first case when lift is at rest. When lift is at rest, then you can say this is spring and tension will appear. Tension means Kx here and gravitational force mg, since when you will hang the bag, the moment you will hang it, a spring will get extended until it achieves equilibrium. So at equilibrium, it is at obviously rest. So at equilibrium, you can write T equal to mg. Okay? And in the question, it is given that this T is equal to 49 Newton. So 49 Newton is equal to mg. Okay? Because reading of spring balance is equal to tension in the spring balance. Now, when the lift is stationary, this is the case. Now, if the lift moves downward with an acceleration of 5 meter per second. Now, suppose it is moving downward, 5 meter per second square. So, if lift is coming down, this whole system inside lift is also coming down with this acceleration. Done. Then reading of spring balance kya hoga? This is the question. So, in this case, if you write the equation, then this will be, since its acceleration is in downward direction, we can write mg minus t is equal to ma. So T equal to how much? T is equal to mg minus ma. Okay? And here m is what? So m we can calculate from here. So m is equal to 49 by g, 9.8 into t, and this is this. So 5 is the value of m. So 5 kg, and this is how much? 9.8 minus 5 into how much? A is 5. So this is nothing but 5 into 4.8. So this is going to be the value of tension. If you calculate it, how much value you will get? It will be your 24.0. So this is 24 Newton. Correct answer will be this. So in this question, basic thing that you have to remember is the reading of a spring balance is equal to tension in the spring balance. Okay? So this is the point. Now, a cubical vessel of height 1 meter is full of water. So there is a cubical vessel, okay, and it is full of water. Done. So if it is full of water, the center of mass of water will be at what height? It will be, if height of this cube is A, then center of mass or I'm just trying to make this question more simpler. So if it is filled with water, we can say that, or we can replace the whole water with its center of mass. So we can say that at this point, there is concentrated liquid of mass m, whatever mass of water it is there. So what is the amount of work done in pumping water out of the vessel? कितना work करना पड़ेगा? You just see here, if suppose कर लो, some m mass of thing is kept here. And if you're pumping water out of the cube, it means that water is getting sprayed on the surface. That water is getting sprayed on the surface. It means its center of mass is finally touching the ground. Initially, it was at height h. So when it was at height h, its potential energy was mgh. Finally, when you are pumping it out, and obviously you are leaving it on the ground, its potential energy is what? Its potential energy finally is what? Zero. So work that you are doing is equal to how much? mg, because that is the amount of change in energy that has happened. So whatever work we will do will be equal to this. Okay. So let's calculate m. Here, volume of cube is how much? Volume of cube is 1 meter cube. And you know density of water. Density of water is how much? It is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. So how much mass of water is in 1 meter cube? It is equal to 1000 kg. Okay. So what is its potential energy initially? Potential energy initially is 1000 into 10. So that is equal to how much? Sorry, mgh we have to do. So this is m, this is g, h is how much? A by 2, that is half. Okay. So this will become how much? This will become your 5000 joule initial energy. Final potential energy is how much? It is 0 joule. So work done will be what? Change in potential energy. So work done is going to be how much? It is equal to 5000 joule in magnitude. Okay. So correct answer will be how much? B. Just an energy conservation question. Done. I hope this question is clear. Now let's do this question. In the locus diagram of two projectiles, 1 and 2 as shown in the figure, where V01 is projection speed of 1, V02 is projection speed of 2. We have to compare their time period and also their value of initial velocities. So let's look at the diagram. If you see the diagram, both has same height. Both has what? Same height. And range of 1 is less than range of 2. These two information we are having. Okay? If you write maximum height formula, so maximum height formula is how much? Uy square by 2g. This is the maximum height formula, right? So if you look at carefully, h is equal to what? Maximum height, and that is same for both the cases. And its formula is uy square by 2g. 2 is constant, g is constant. So if maximum height is same, it means y direction initial velocity for both the projection is same, right? So you can say here, if this angle is theta 2 for second, and this angle is theta 1, then we can say that V01 sine theta 1 is equal to V02 sine theta 2. First thing, okay? From this thing we are getting, right? Now if you see here, range, if you compare, so R1 ka value you will write as what? What? Time of flight is what? 2uy by g. So time of flight into ux, this is range, right? Range is equal to what? Time of flight into component of velocity in the x direction, because that velocity is not going to change. So simple time into velocity is going to give us range. So if for R1 is less than R2, so for first, if I'm writing this, then this will be less than the another one. So let's compare it again. Let's change the color and do it. So uy for both is same. So uy into ux dash में लिखूंगी less than what I should write here. Uy for second, ux1 लिखते हैं इसको और इसको 2 लिखते हैं, ठीक है। ui सेम, सो हियर यू कैन सी ux1 is less than ux2, ठीक है। And here if you see if you compare it, do the comparison again. Let's look at it more carefully. So let's move with this. Okay, ux1 को आप क्या लिख सकते हो? That you can write as v01 cos theta 1 is less than v02 cos theta 2. If you see here carefully, theta 1 is greater than theta 2. Theta 1 is greater than theta 2. So we already know that as the value of theta increases, cos theta decreases. So here definitely if theta 1 is greater than theta 2, cos theta 1 is less than cos theta 2. So cos theta 1 will be what? Theta 1 is greater, so cos theta 1 is less than cos theta 2. Done it? Or you can also do one thing here. From here also you can directly calculate. You don't need to go into range also. Jaise V01 is equal to V01 sin theta 1 is equal to V02 sin theta 2. So theta 1 is greater than theta 2. And we know that as theta increases, sin theta value also increases. So here sin theta 1 is greater than sin theta 2. And if this whole has to be equal, for that V01 should be what? Less than V02. Then only it can be balanced. So let me do here one thing. इसको चलो हटा ही देते हैं क्योंकि it's making things more lengthier. And also comparison is not going to be easy. So this you realize it when you randomly start doing the question. Okay. So I just thought ki range also we can compare, but all the clue is here only. We don't need to do the next step. Okay. So this one we got from where? From the height. And we can see here clearly these two are equal. Sin theta 1 is greater than sin theta 2 because theta 1 is greater than theta 2. Done. So for this to be equal, V01 has to be less than V02. So our correct answer will be what? Time of flight is going to be equal because time of flight only depend on what? It only depends on ui component. So ui component is same for both because height is same. So T formula is 2uy by g. Ui is same now for both projectiles. So time period is same and V01 is less than V02. So we don't need to go into this. It's not required. Okay. Now, suppose the gravitational force varies inversely at nth power of distance, then the time period of planet in circular orbit. So gravitational force, suppose कर लो, we are writing as G m1 m2 by r का power n. ठीक है? So if there is a planet's orbit, suppose कर लो, this is your planet and this is going round and round like this. Then, so here suppose there is sun and in between force is acting, gravitational force. This force will act as centripetal force. So centripetal force G m1 m2 by r ka power n can be written as mv square by r. Then so v square, if you see v square m1 ले लो इसको, m1 m1 cancel कर दो, v square is equal to how much? G m2 by r ka power n minus 1. Then, so velocity is what? Velocity is directly proportional to k ka power r n minus 1 or ye, this is square. Okay. So if you will bring this square this side, this will become half. Okay. So let's write that only k into r ka power 1 minus n I can write if I'm bringing r to the numerator, and then in that case v will look like v equal to k r1 minus n divided by 2. Okay, done it. Now time period. So time period, how you calculate? This is nothing but 2 pi r by v. So 2 pi r by v का value क्या लिखोगे? k r का power 1 minus n by 2. Now यहाँ पे r का power 1 है. This is this. So how again we can solve it? So if you solve this, यहाँ लिखती हूँ मैं. What we can write? 2 pi by k is a constant. R ka power, how much? This is 1. So 1, and this is in 1 minus n by 2 in denominator. So if you're bringing it up, then it will become 1 plus n minus 1 by 2. ठीक है. So this is equal to 2 pi by k r का power 2 plus n minus 1 divided by 2. So this is equal to r n plus 1 by 2. So correct answer will be what? A. Question is simple. The strain stress curve of three wires of different material are shown in figure. P, Q, R are the elastic limit of the wire. So P, Q, R are the elastic limit that is given in the question. So we have to talk about tensile strength, elasticity, and all. Okay, so let's see. We already know that stress by strain is equal to what? That is Young's modulus. That basically defines elasticity, right? So here, if you see, this is a strain by stress. So strain by stress is equal to 1 by elasticity, right? That is Young's modulus here. A quantity term for elasticity. So if you look here carefully, the slope of P is the maximum, that of Q is in medium, and that of R is the minimum. Why? Because R is making the minimum angle with the stress axis, and so slope is maximum for the P. Yani ki 1 by Y value is maximum for P. Then that tan P tan P चलो मैं लिखती हूँ, tan P is equal to 1 by YP. ठीक है, and this is the maximum. So if this is maximum, then YP has tendency of being minimum. Done. So elasticity of wire Q is maximum. No, we cannot say elasticity of R will be maximum, because for this slope is minimum, and if slope, that is tan, is minimum, Y will be maximum. Elasticity of wire P is maximum. No, it's minimum. Okay. So A is not true, B is not true. Now let's stop. Let's see D, because C is none. Before that, we need to check D. Tensile strength. If you remember Hooke's law, so it looks something like this. You know? Then there is this breaking fracture point or something, and then several points. So if that graph is not shown, we cannot say कि tensile strength of R is maximum or minimum, right? For that, we need to know the fracture point. Done. So fracture point says that how much stress it can tolerate before breaking down. So that information is not given in the graph. We cannot say anything. So C is the correct answer. Okay. Sure. Now let's see. So this is another question. A block having mass 3 kg is pushed with an initial velocity of 10 meter per second. Initial velocity is 10 meter per second. Up against an inclined plane, if the block passes the point B with a speed of, yani ki final velocity till the time it reaches point B is 4 meter per second. Work done by friction force if height of the inclined plane is 2 meter. Okay. So we already know that we can use work energy theorem. Work done by all forces is equal to change in kinetic energy. We already have here change in kinetic energy. What are the all forces acting here? Gravitational force and friction. So it is going up, gravity force down. So work done by gravitational force will be negative, right? And let's say friction will also act opposite, but we don't know the work done by friction. So let's write it like this. And work done by gravity can be written as what? So basically, when it is going from A to B, it has risen by height of 2 meters. So work done is equal to how much? Negative of, why negative? Because displacement is in upward direction, gravitational force is in downward direction. So mass is 3 kg, G is 10, H is 2 meters. So this is this. Now change in kinetic energy, half into 3 into V final ka, V initial ka square, that is 100 minus 60. So this is this. Work this minus this is 60 is equal to how much? 3 by 2 into this will become 84, I guess. Yes. So this is equal to 42. So work done by friction is equal to how much? This is equal to 42 into 3. This will become 6. है ना? and this is 126. So have we done any mistake in the sign? Let's check. Okay. Yes, one mistake we did in the sign, change in kinetic energy we are calculating. So this is final kinetic energy minus initial. But I have written here initial minus final. So देखो थोड़ी सी गलती पे you can land up with wrong answer. So here we need to write 16 minus 100. So this is minus 84. Okay. So this is going to be, sorry, this is not going to be the answer. Answer is going to be minus 126 plus 60. Okay. So this is going to be 66. Done. So formula used is work done by all forces is equal to change in kinetic energy. Change you have to write properly. This is kinetic energy final minus kinetic energy initial. Okay. Chalo. Now, a uniform rod AB of length L is hinged at one end A. Okay. It is hinged means this point is fixed. The rod is kept in horizontal position with the help of a string. Here you can see if a string is cut, the moment the string will get cut, tension force in the string will become zero. And we have to find initial angular acceleration of the rod. So now let's see when the string is just cut, this rod will start rotating around this fixed hinged point. And when it is just cut, what is the torque acting? So torque kya lagega? Tension is becoming zero. So gravitational force will act in the downward direction, mg, and its torque around the axis of rotation will be r cross mg. So this is mgl by 2, and this will be equal to torque is equal to I alpha. Okay? And since this is a rod rotating around its one end, its moment of inertia will be equal to ml square by 3 alpha. So m will get cancelled, 1l will get cancelled, and alpha will become equal to 3g by 12. So this is going to be the answer. So correct option will be D. Now, the metal seat shown in figures is with two holes cut off unequal diameter D1 and D2. If the seat is heated, then what will happen? This is the question over here. Okay. So this is the seat. Okay. Just imagine the seat, nothing is cut out of it. It is just solid seat. And suppose I'm marking 2 points. This 2 point is A, this 2 point is B. Now what I'm doing, I'm heating it. So if I will heat it, this length will increase and this height will also increase. So overall this seat dimension will increase. And if that is happening, distance between A and B will also increase. Similarly, if this seat we are hitting, which has spherical holes. So let me take these 2 points. This is A and this is B. If you are hitting, distance between A and B will increase. It means what is going to happen? Diameter D1 value will increase. Similarly, D2 will increase. So correct answer should be A. Just a logical thing. So now let's look at this question. Water rises to a height of 2 centimeter in a capillary tube. If the tube is tilted by 60 degrees from the vertical, water will rise in the tube to a length. So I've already written this formula. What is this formula? So suppose Karlo, if there is a water here and you are dipping in it, a capillary tube, a tube here. Some water, certain amount of water will rise in this capillary tube to certain height. And that height, if say is h, then we write h as what? The formula given above. H is 2t cos theta. Suppose water is rising up to this. So this height I am saying is h. Okay. So h can be written as 2t cos theta by rho g r. T is the surface tension value. Theta is the contact angle. And this r is the radius of capillary. Rho density of water. G is acceleration due to gravity. Now, if what you are doing in the second case, according to the question, you are just tilting the tube. Okay? So while you are tilting the tube, tension, surface tension is not changing, contact angle not getting affected, radius of capillary tube not getting affected. Done. So in this case, also, what is like if I say this is the column of water reason, then this height is equal to how much? Same as previous one. Okay. So this height was h And now what, suppose kar lo, this height was h, and now what you are doing, you're just tilting it. Done. So if this height was h and you are tilting it now, again from here to here, this height will remain h. So that water column height, I'm saying just look at the formula. Height of water column will be equal to this. And if this thing are not changing, then that height is not going to change. Yani ki in this case also, this h is equal to 2 centimeter, but we have to calculate water will rise in the tube to a length of. So we have to calculate the length of water column in the tilted position. So this length we have to calculate. So basically this length. Done. So by what angle it has tilted? It has tilted by 60 degree. So this is H by this L. L is equal to cos 60, that is half. So L is equal to 2H, and that is equal to 4 centimeters. So that is going to be the answer. Now let's read this question. A man runs at a speed of 4 meters per second to overtake a standing bus. So bus is standing here, okay? And a person starts running with a speed 4 meters per second to overtake it. When he is 6 meters behind the bus at time t equal to 0. So it is taking t equal to 0 when the person is 6 meters behind the bus. Okay. The bus moves forward and continues with a constant acceleration of this much. So at this point, what happens? Bus starts moving in the forward direction with constant acceleration 1.2 meter per second square. So here acceleration, it starts moving forward with this acceleration. The man reaches the bus in time t, and it is said that after t equal to 0, it takes t time to reach the bus. Then which relation is correct? So in such kind of question, overtaking question, we use relative concept. So let's see what is the relative velocity of person with respect to bus initially. So it can be written as this. Initial speed of bus is 0 and this is 4. Before we go on to write equation and everything, let me fix the origin. So suppose Carlo, this person, initial position of this person, I'm taking as origin, 0, 0. Okay? And this direction I'm taking as positive, and this direction positive. This will become negative. Okay? Now let's write acceleration of person with respect to bus. So AP minus AB, AP is 0, minus 1.2. 1.2 is in forward direction, so positive. So this is this. Now displacement of person with respect to bus initially. So SP minus SP, and this is going to be 0 minus 6. Done. Now, when it is overtaking it, when it will overtake its person will also be at the position of bus. So relative separation between them finally. So this is initially, and finally relative separation will be equal to 0. So change in displacement, that is second equation of motion if you use S equal to ut plus half at square, where S is not displacement, it is change in displacement. So here change in displacement will be final is 0 or initial is minus 6. This will be equal to ut, u is 4, t plus half acceleration, relative acceleration is minus 1.2 t square. So if you're going to solve it, 6 equal to 4t plus how much it will become? This is your negative. So this is minus 0.6 t square. So if you're going to solve it or bring it here, 6 plus 0.6 t square is equal to 4. So this is going to be the correct answer. Okay. So correct answer will be A. Now, determine the electric dipole moment of the system of three charges placed on the vertices of an equilateral triangle. So, can you spot the dipole here? It's something like this, right? So here there is minus 2q charge, and here there is plus q, and here there is plus q. If you look carefully, I can do one thing at the vertex. Charge kept, we will keep same. We cannot change that. You know? But let's place this minus 2q differently. Here minus q, here minus q. So you can see clearly this is one dipole and this is another dipole. है ना? And both have dipole moment value equal to q into a. Here also it is q into a. Direction of dipole is from negative to positive, and its value is charge into separation. So this is this. Now we have to calculate their resultant in terms of I cap and J cap. So in terms of I cap and J cap, if you go on to solve, so this is the x-axis, this is y-axis, everything is given. So if you break this P, so this P can be broken as, this is your P. If let's say this angle is your 6, this angle will be how much? This whole is 60 degree. Okay. So this is dividing it by half. So this is 30 degree. Done. So this P has two components. One along this. This is your P cos 30. And this will become how much? This will become your P sin 30. Okay. Similarly, this P will have component one in the downward sense. And that is equal to how much? Again, P cos 30. And this is equal to how much? This is equal to your P sin 30. So these two P sin 30 will get cancelled, and these two P cos 30 will get added. So net dipole moment, net, is equal to 2P cos 30 in which direction? In minus J cap direction. So this is 2QA into root 3 by 2 minus J cap. So correct answer will be minus 3, minus root 3 AQ in J cap, in minus J cap direction. So minus को मैंने वहां लिख दिया. लेकिन if you write it, A here is given as L. So properly if I write, it will become how much? Root 3 QL minus J cap. Okay. So correct answer will be how, which one? C. Now let's, let's look at this question. This one. A liquid film is formed over a frame ABCD as shown in the figure. Wire CD can slide without friction. Wire CD can slide without friction. Maximum value of mass that can be hang from CD without breaking the liquid film. So suppose I'm hanging here N. So if I'm hanging here N, something should be to balance this. Done. And that force can be your what? Tension force here. You know? Because you're hanging mass, some mass from CD. So if you're hanging some mass from CD, what should be the case? Here tension should act, and that tension should equate to mg. है ना? So suppose कर लो, let's do it like this. This is your C and this is your D. Suppose from some string you are hanging. So this is mass M. So if we talk about this string and mass system, then tension will be equal to how much? Mg for equilibrium. Done. And if you talk about this film CD, अगर मैं CD का free body diagram बनाऊं, तो CD has a string attached to it. So tension away from the body because of a string, this string, right? And then beyond the CD, on the one side there is a string, on the another side there is a liquid film. So that liquid film will exert surface tension wala force. So surface tension क्या होता है? Surface tension you define as force per unit length, right? So surface tension you define as force per unit length. So force will be equal to how much? Force will be equal to S into L. So here surface tension force is given as T actually. So this tension might cause confusion. So let's change it to T dash. ठीक है? क्योंकि यहाँ पे surface tension का force given is T. So let's see, this is T dash. Okay. So surface tension per unit, sorry, this was correct actually. So surface tension का जो force है, just give me some time. Okay. Yes, we were here, right? So in the question, surface tension force is given as what? T. So T will be equal to force per unit length, where L is what? Length of CD. Done. And again, you just you must have learned liquid film ka surface tension. So if this is the liquid film, it has two surfaces, right? Two open surfaces, one upward and another backward, right? So if there are two open surfaces, two surface tension force will act. So here one will act like this, okay, and another from the bottom side. So if tension force अगर मैं यहाँ लगाऊं तो एक front का that is your TL and another एक backward का that is TL. Done. So here, if I apply these two forces on the film, then this is TL and this is TL. And if you talk about its equilibrium, then equilibrium of this film and string, then you can see clearly what is happening here. 2TL is equal to T dash and T dash is equal to mg. What we have to calculate? Maximum value of mass. So that m is equal to 2TL by g. So B will be the correct answer. Again, here, if you're getting confused with this string and surface tension both, then let me do one more thing for you here. Suppose कर लो mass को तुमने ऐसे ही hang कर, ठीक है, without using a string. Let's make it more simple. In that case, mg is downward. Surface tension का force will be TL and another TL. Why two TL I'm using? Because film has two open surfaces. ठीक है? Each open surface will result in surface tension force equal to T into L. So here 2TL should be equal to mg. Film is not breaking or just breaking. Then m will be equal to 2TL by g. So that is your correct answer. So either way, that one I did just to explain more. Now, a circular disc of radius A, circular disc of radius A, of radius R is made from an iron plate of thickness T. So its thickness is given, its thickness is T. Then and another disc B of radius 4R, its radius is R and its thickness is T. And another one, its radius is 4R and its thickness is how much? T by 4. The relation between moment of inertia of A and B. So if you must have seen that 5 rupees coin, then that is thicker. So that is not a disc, that is a cylinder of certain thickness. So here also, if there is a disc and we are talking about its thickness, it means its geometry is that of cylinder. And moment of inertia of cylinder, solid cylinder, is same as that of disc. You know? So moment of inertia of A can be written as mass of A, radius of A by 2. Okay? And moment of inertia of B can be written as mass of B, radius of B ka square divided by 2. If we have to take their ratio, since they are made from similar material, I guess, same iron plate, like thicknesses are different, but density must be same because nothing is given here about the density. So we will take that same. IA by IB को what we are going to write MA by MB. So MA by MB क्या होगा? Let's calculate that first. So mass of MA can be written as volume of cylinder, that is pi r square thickness T pi r square L into rho. And what will be the mass of B? That is pi. Radius of B is 4r ka square into thickness is how much? T by 4 into rho. So if you are going to take their ratio will be equal to how much? Pi r will get cancelled. So this is going to be 4 by 16. So this is 1 by 4. So mass of B is 4 times that of mass of A. So let's write here MA by MB into RA ka square by RB ka square. So MA by MB is equal to how much? 1 by 4. Or RA is R square. RB is how much? 16 ka 16 R ka square. So this is 64. IA is equal 64 IA is equal to IB. So IB is what? IB is greater than IA. So IA is less than IB. So correct answer will be C. Now let's do this question. A trolley of mass 8 kg is standing on a frictionless surface inside which an object of mass 2 kg is there. A constant force F starts acting on the trolley as a result of which a string is stood at an angle of this. Then done. So this kind of question you must have come across in your class 11. This is a very common question that we see, very common. So initially when this trolley is in rest, in that case, the pendulum must be resting like this. And why like this? Because force acting on this is only tension force upward and mg force down. Now, The moment you will give force to this, what will happen? This trolley will start moving. So this trolley becomes non-inertial frame. And if standing here, again, I'm writing the equation of pendulum. I need to apply what? Pseudo force opposite to the direction of acceleration of frame. So acceleration of frame is in this direction. So pseudo force is in this direction, MA. So because of this force, this pendulum will do what? This pendulum will move in this direction and then somewhere it will come and rest. So now let's solve the question. So in this position, tension either le lo T, M, G. Since force is acting in this sense, pseudo force in this sense, mass of this block, that is 2 kg, into acceleration of this whole system. Okay, force value is given here. No, it's not given. Okay, so acceleration of the frame will be equal to how much? F by mass of this system, this frame. So in this frame, 8 kg is mass of trolley and 2 kg is mass of block. So total mass is 10 kg. So acceleration is F by 10. So this is F by 10. ठीक है? Now let's solve the question. अगर आप इसको solve करोगे, if this angle is given, then question is very easy. This angle is 37 degrees. So T cos 37, T को break कर दो और इधर है तुम्हारा T sin 37. So if system is in equilibrium, T cos 37 will be equal to mg and T sin 37, that will be equal to how much? F by 5. Done है? Now force applied also we can calculate here. So अगर आप tension को cut करोगे, cos 37 is how much? It is your 4 by 5 and this is your 3 by 5. So overall this is cot 37 and that is your 4 by 3. Okay, this is 4 by 3 and this is equal to mg. M is mass of this and this is 2 kg. So 2 into 10 divided by F into 5. So this is equal to how much? 50. Okay, this 4 is also here. So cut it like this. 2 say ye 5 times 25. So F equal to 25 into 3. So that is 75 Newton. So that option is here, force applied. You can also check all other options. You can calculate, but we have got the correct answer here. Done it? Tension you can calculate because we have these two equations. From these two equations, you can calculate anything. Now, using a screw gauge of pitch 0.1 centimeter and 50 division on circular scale, the thickness of an object is measured. It should correctly be recorded as. Okay. So, pitch is given. Pitch is how much? Pitch is equal to 0.1 centimeter. Pitch is what? A distance covered in one complete rotation of that screw gauge, right? How many divisions are there? Division is 50. So what will be the list count? List count list count formula is pitch divided by division number. Okay? So this is 0.1 by 50. So if you calculate it, this will become 0.002. Okay? So this will become how much? 0.002. So on main scale, you will get reading of the level of centimeter, right? So here some 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter or something, and a screw gauge will give you reading in the multiples of 0.002. So if one division it moves, it gives us extra reading of 0.002 in addition to that of centimeter. So if you see here carefully, which one is the multiple of 0.002? So like, jaise, to solve this question, you just need to understand how we get the measurement from a screw gauge. So there are two readings. Now, one is your main scale reading and another is your circular scale reading. So this main scale reading is in terms of centimeter. Okay? And on the circular scale, you will get reading in the multiplication of 0.002. How many divisions it can go up to 50, right? So, done hai. Like on main scale is just like main scale, it can read up to millimeter, right? So up to millimeter, you will get readings on main scale, and beyond that, you will get reading from CSR. So whatever reading is here, जैसे up to 2.1, it must be getting from where? It must be getting from main scale. But up to 2, after 2.1, what is the reading here? In first case, it is 0.023. And in second case, it is 0.025. And in third case, it is 0.021. And in fourth case, it is 0.024. Okay? And which one is multiple of this list count? Because these readings are the reading of circular scale, right? And circular scale will give reading in the multiplication of its list count, right? So which one is the multiplication of its list count? It is something 0.002. So if you're going to multiply 2 with any number of division, that will give you even number, right? And here, even number in the last. So here in the last, it is 3, it is 1, it is 5, here only it is 4. So correct reading will be. So how you can easily do this question? You just need to remember that how we measure on circular scale. So there are two readings, main scale reading, circular scale reading. On main scale reading, centimeters के range में we are measuring, but minimum how much reading main scale can give? Minimum up to millimeter, है ना? So up to 2.1, that reading is of main scale. And after that, whatever reading is in the options, that is of circular scale. And of circular scale, list count is 0.002. So whatever extra reading is there, that is reading of circular scale, that must be the multiplication of this. And that is 2 in the last. So whatever division you're multiplying, you're going to get even in the last. And here that is only with the option D. So correct option is. Now, a particle is moving in a straight line and velocity versus time graph is given. Displacement versus time graph, you have to tell me. So if you look at it carefully, VT curve is given, then VT curve is given. Now slope, area of VT curve. Area of VT curve gives us what? Change in displacement, and slope of ST curve gives us what? Velocity. So either we can do two things here. From velocity, we can go to ST, or from ST, we can see which ST curve will suit the given VT curve. So checking slope is more easier. So let's move on with the ST curve to VT curve. So if you look at the VT curve first, यहाँ पे जो हमें दिया हुआ है, velocity is increasing and always positive. And then velocity is decreasing and always positive, right? So if you see here, slope of this curve is decreasing with the time. But in our case, velocity is increasing with time, even in the first half. So for the first half, it is this. For second half, it is this. This graph cannot be true because slope of this curve, that is velocity, is decreasing over time. So this cannot be true. And this cannot be true because slope of ST curve gives us velocity. Here, slope of this line is a constant. So according to this curve, up to first half, velocity is a constant. It's not constant. It's increasing here. So this can also be not true. And if you look at this C, here the slope is increasing with the time. It's positive, slope is positive also and increasing. Now, if you talk about the second curve also, what is here? Second means second interval, like after this time. Here also you can see, again, slope, if you draw, it's decreasing over time, but slope value is positive because it's making acute angle with the time axis. Done. So it seems like it is satisfying the relation, but let's see how D is incorrect. So if you see here, slope of the curve is decreasing here over time. And then here it is increasing. But in our case, first is it is increasing, then it is decreasing. It cannot be true. So this is your correct answer. This is how it can cut.